Hello, I'm Kerryn from Kerryn's Fabric World, also known as the Doctor of Dress. I'm using all of my many years in the fabric and image industry to give you some tips and advice, so when it comes to your very precious sewing time, that time's going to be spent a lot more creatively, happy, enjoying, and a lot more successful. Welcome people that love to make their own clothes. We're going to demonstrate today how to make a shorter jacket into a long evening coat. We're using this buttrick pattern, view C, but the front of view C is the same as view D. We're going to extend this down by 30 centimetres and we're going to do a little modification with this front band. We're only going to stitch it to the underbust level and leave the rest of the flap loose to create a little tie and keep the jacket closed when wearing. So we're going to, because there's a fair bit of bulk at the bottom of the pattern, we're going to take a little bit of bulk off the hip line just by folding in part of the centre front, still leaving some of the angle down. And we're going to take off some of the side seam. You leave it as normal underneath the arm, take the bulk away from the pattern, and we've placed our brown paper underneath and we've extended the pattern down by 30 centimetres. We're using this interesting textured fabric with embossed stripe. When you're laying your fabric out, just make sure that your top layer is directly over top of the bottom layer. By having a contrast colour underneath, this is easy to determine. Now we're laying our pattern onto our fabric, and we've got to make sure that the straight grain lines are exactly parallel with the selvage. With here I can go by my stripes, because as a texture I'm making sure that the centre front, and I can feel that going straight up and down the line, and the straight grain line is equal. So pin them in place, and if you do that, your centre front and your centre back will automatically match. All your stripes will match perfectly. When you have a fabric with a little bit of give in it, when on the shoulder seams, make sure you always stabilise the shoulder with a little bit of stay tape. I've used a little bit of scrap ribbon here that was in my little stash. Matching up my centre back neck band with the centre back of the garment. Ease on the band around the back of the neck. Then over the shoulder seam allowance, put a pin vertically inside each side of the seam allowance. When the machine goes over that, that will hold it flat so it won't all bunch up underneath the foot of the machine. Continue on down to your predetermined length just under the bust line, where we're going to stitch our band down to. So I've predetermined that with a notch nicked into it, so then we can go on and turn our tie piece through. So just leave that pin out for the time being, and we'll continue on shortly with the rest of the tie. Okay, we're going to turn our tie to the reverse side to stitch it, then flip it back through. So I'm working from my notch. I'm going to reverse the fabric so the two right sides are together. Working from the notch. Pin all the way down. That matching your stripes as you go. And at the bottom I've taken the square corner off just to create a nice point at the bottom of my tie. This will be stitched along and up to the neck, and then pins taken out and then reversed out, and that creates our tie. We will then stitch the band to the bodice of the garment. The completion of the garment is by using the basic pattern instructions. So we've finished our garment now, and I'm just showing how this was the panel that would have normally been stitched down the front, which is quite a nice option for the pattern, but just to be a little bit different, because I never do as I'm told, we have made the little tie front. All of this adds great length illusion to us very short people, so any up and down lines are a good line. Now when you're working with a stripe, make your stripes do something, make them a feature of your outfit. So this is a great little style for this. It's like a waterfall front with the tie. Towards the back of the garment too, which I didn't mention before, is a nice pleat. This is a great pleat for those people that are a little large in the buttocks area. When sitting, leaves a nice amount of room, but when it's closed it creates a length illusion through the problem, not at the problem. So very happy with our little outfit. A sleeve can be an option to this pattern, but when you're doing a sleeve, because we've got a couple of angles here, try an angle sleeve through the elbow. So it's just a little above the elbow, just come below the elbow, maybe with a little split underneath, just hides the not so nice part of the arm. So definitely a sleeve is an option in this pattern. So bye for now, until next time.